and we're live for round number 11. And we're seeing Francesco Marzano with Dredge. We also saw him yesterday, having a really great tournament. Yesterday he didn't lose any game, I think. But today now he's playing for the top 8. He lost one game, but
Yep.
if he wins this one, I think he's in. But
It was what round? 11 in this 13 rounds. So
this
I
is
think you still have to.
the yeah
You still have to just keep. You still just have to keep winning out.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Both of them need to win.
Oh,
Yo,
Francesco,
hi
waving to the
Francesco.
camera. Yeah.
Surely is
Oh, they're
they're
Morgan.
greeting you, not much me.
Yeah.
And
Saying hi
they're
to the camera.
playing Morgan Di Candia from Bergamo, maybe Bergamo. I think there's a little bit of confusion, so let me know if it's from Bergamo or from Pisa. But he's playing Mono Blue Terror.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't see a
this-
lot of Mono Blue Terror on this on day 2, but he
Yeah.
managed to win 9 rounds, so very good tournament for him.
Mm.
And even if he lost this game, he can still be in the top 8. But they definitely want to win because they want to make sure they're in.
Yeah, so this is an interesting matchup. So the reason I like Dredge is because it's pretty good into the blue decks, because
Yeah.
you can just try and overload them by trying to like exhume and then flash back a Dread Return. They can only have so many counter spells at once.
Yeah, and even Dread Return, you can hardcast it actually to
Yeah.
get out the first counter spell and then flash it back for free.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
relatively free, but having
Yeah.
3 creatures in play is not difficult for Dredge. That's exactly what the deck wants to do.
yeah. And also, Mono Blue Terror tries to beat in with big creatures, and you know what's very good at blocking? Stinkweed Imp.
Yeah. Good recurring blocker.
Yeah, it's very hard to
So
get through.
yeah, Mono Blue has to play for tempo, has to put his threats early on and try to control the game, but you can't really control the game for a long time, so you have to win early. Try to stop the
So-
opponent just enough to bring it to 0.
Yeah.
But
So
main deck,
looks like Dredge.
you also have.
Yeah.
Oh wait, does he have it main deck?
What card?
I'm trying to remember. Note of the Bone. Yes, he has 2 main deck and 2 on the side. So even the
Yeah.
tempo plan might be a bit difficult. You have to also keep Ruination for not
Yeah,
only for
so
the
this
combo
is-
but also for the Note of the Bone.
The Dredge player's mulliganed, because this is one of the issues with the Dredge deck, is that it only runs like 15 lands or something, because you've
Yeah.
got so many land cyclers. So you just need to be
Yeah,
able to hit that one land in your opening hand to start like cycling away all your generous Ents and Trolls of Khazad-dûm to be able to actually start casting your 2 mana creatures that mill and draw you lands. So
Yeah, so he's playing 4 Trolls, 4 Generous Ent, and I'm
no
trying to see
Olifant.
if he also runs the red one, but
No
the
Olifant in this list.
Yeah, doesn't seem like it. So he's playing 6
So-
forests and 3
Yeah.
double lands, and
Yep. So
3
we'll see
swamps.
we'll see what land they get here. So it's either going to be if they've got the black source in hand. Ooh. Yeah. So they
Okay.
must have the black source in hand. So they've gone to get the red source.
Yeah,
So they must have an untapped land, because usually you'd try to get they must have a black source. Otherwise, you'd get the black source first, because
yeah.
half the cards
need
you want to play
more
are
than
black.
the red one. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So they must have an untapped.
at least
black
main
source.
deck, the only red mana you use is
Yeah.
the one for the flash for
To a
the
Wayfinder?
unearth. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And there's the scrap
the
work
mat, and Note of the Bone,
discard
which
noodled bone,
now
which
does
is
nothing, but later on in the game can gain a lot of mana.
Yeah. Which it's not it's pretty much only there for the red decks. It's not that great against blue, because they're usually attacking you for like 15 with 3 creatures
Yeah,
pretty early on.
You
So
can fight for
Yeah,
like
but
1 or 2 turns, but
yeah,
not much more.
it's if you've been grinding a little bit throughout the game to put things in your graveyard, you can, like, end of turn, try and just bait counter spells out with it, because it can buy you like 2 to 3 extra turns with the amount of life you can gain.
Yeah, and we
But it's
see
definitely
Morgan
like
try to
it's
try
definitely not
to
a card you want to keep in hand, though.
yeah. So he's trying to fill up his graveyard very fast, and there are already
Yep.
5 instant sorceries. He didn't hit any land with his self-mill.
Thought Scour.
Yeah.
There's
So we might see a very fast terror with the mana
Yeah.
open for permission.
Is there 5? I can only see 4.
Yeah, there's one or two off camera.
Okay. All right. So Scrapwork Mutt gets in. Every little bit of damage helps. Just means
Yep.
less creatures you need in your graveyard for once you get that troll in there to try and bring back. Just played a tap land and no other 2-drops, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's unexpected. He plays like
especially-
what 16
Yeah,
2-drops.
Yeah, nearly everything in the deck is a 2-drop that you want to play, which is Scrapwork Mutt, Seder Wayfinder, the
Sickle of the Druid.
Blanchwood Prowler.
Yeah, Malevolent Rumble also.
Yes.
The Exhume could be interesting.
All right.
And yes, we see the
Two
terrors.
Two terrors on turn 3. That's
scary.
Yeah, and considering the Dredge pilot didn't actually do anything turn 2, this is not a good sign for them.
Oh, 4 mana for... Oh, direct.
So just returning back, yep, that's fair.
That's a good blocker, yeah. 5/7.
That's a very good blocker for a terror.
Yeah. Does he have the Dim Inferior? That's what may help.
I believe well, there's one in the graveyard, so they're definitely running the Dim Inferior version. The question is, do they have one in hand?
And do they have the Brainstorm to unlock? Oh,
Yeah,
they have it in
and
hand.
there it is.
And just Hardcast, yeah.
Yep.
For 3 mana.
Yep. It has 4 mana in its cost, but it always costs 3 at least because you've drawn 1 card for the turn.
Yeah.
Because it's a sorcery.
And he puts the Ant on the bottom of the library, so it doesn't have other pieces of recursion like Exhume or the second copy of Dread Return.
Yeah. This is like almost the perfect hand for the Mono Blue Terror pilot.
Yeah. That's exactly what we were saying. Get on the board very early on, keep mana for the permission, and then try to win. And Francesco just put
Branchwood Player into play.
Oh, and he finds the Stinky Dip. That may change the game.
Yeah, they did hit a land here, so they can return it. If they choose not to, they put a counter on the Branchwood Player. There's usually never a case where you don't want to put where you always want to get the land. So looks like they're writing down, which I assume the land's just gonna come into play anyway. So Francesco looks like they have in hand a basic land, an Acorn Harvest, and a Northern Bone. So they've drawn
not great.
No, it's terrible. It's the half of the deck that you want to get milled into your graveyard. It's the side you do not want to draw at all.
I mean, the Acorn Harvest, between the Hardcast and the Flashback, that's 4 chump blockers.
Yeah.
And with him at 10.
But I mean, tapping out for it when you're playing against a Spell Pierce deck does not seem ideal.
Yeah.
And considering they've got 5 cards in it, there's a Spell Pierce in a hand too, and a Counterspell. I don't think Francesco can really do much. So it looks like they're dredging back to Stinkweed Imp.
Yeah. And the Acorn Harvest, so he can...
So he can flashback an Acorn Harvest. Yeah.
He goes to 10. Yes, that's why he used the 2 mana before to crack the food token. That's another...
so it's up to 13. But so it can't really flash back the Acorn Harvest because then they go straight to 10. So there's the counterspell for Stinkweed Imp. Yeah. And from there, I don't think you can really do anything. I guess you try the Acorn Harvest because it's the only thing that will let you survive. Oh, they've got Nord of the Bone.
Oh, yeah. But
so if
maybe you should have used it on the upkeep just to deny 1 draw.
Yeah.
Because we see the counterspell in hand and he's going to...
Pierce.
Oh, the Spell Pierce. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah.
And 10 damage goes to 3.
Yep.
He can't flash back the Acorn Harvest anymore?
Nope. Well, you can just
Yeah,
lose on the
that's the
spot.
last thing you do. Yeah. And he dredges a lot of creatures.
Yep, so another dredge
I don't think he
is
has 18. And anyway, he doesn't have the way to generate 3 creatures right now, unless he can
no.
gain life, but I don't think he
Yeah,
can. Maybe he can try to hardcast the
Lord of the Bone.
Acorn
Yeah,
Harvest from hand.
this'll hope.
Oh,
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to be 18 life. So that does buy him 2 more turns.
yeah. And even if he counterspells, there's still the flashback for the same
Yes.
amount of mana. So
And
does
we
he
yeah,
deny his
and we're not
mana or
yeah.
try to
And
use the
so
counterspell to stop something else?
so what's in hand? There's a counterspell, an island, and an unknown.
Yeah,
Can't tell what the third card
I
is.
think
In my
it's
shuffle.
another
Might be
land.
2 islands. Yeah.
Yeah. So he only has the counterspell as a playable
Yeah.
card.
So it looks like the
Does
counterspell. It looks like it's resolved. The
yeah,
Dawn of the Bone. So
and
we're gonna see.
he
Are we gonna
keeps
see it
the
flashback, or are we gonna stink with him? Yeah. Okay.
and it resolves. It doesn't
And it
counterspell
resolves.
because
Yeah.
yeah, 18. That means that's a 3-turn clock.
Hmm.
It looked like he might have gone away with the win, mono blue, but now those.
All right. Other
Oh,
terror.
that's a top
It
deck.
helps put to the table and just pass his turn. Yep. Which is fair. You don't want to put a terror on and lose a terror just to get 5 damage in. It's not
Yeah.
really worth it. So look like we're dredging
Now
back
we
stink
see
with him. So
Dredge. Yeah,
this is what Dredge wants. So
yeah,
yeah, mono blue has no graveyard hate, so you can just keep dredging, keep bringing back Stinkweed Imps, and sort of drawing. Well, you're not drawing any cards; you're only drawing Stinkweed Imps when you're dredging.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you just put them into play, Stonewall, and then try and just resolve an Acorn Harvest, and then start flashing back and hoping they run out of counter spells.
So let's say wall. He can't really attack
No,
because it just gives Francesco more stuff to put to the graveyard,
yeah,
more fuel for
so,
the combo.
yeah.
And
Wayfinder.
I think
So
he might get away
more
with
fuel.
the game.
Yeah. And there's a Dread Return, plus 2 more creatures.
And that's not the only Dread return in the graveyard. I think there's another one when he first
Yeah, well, they
reanimating
hard
the
cast.
end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he doesn't
there's-
really have a lot of. I mean, he could have gone. Ah, no, he couldn't. I was thinking about flashback in the Acorn Harvest to fight against the one counterspell, but
Yeah.
he would need another creature.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, just in case something like
Ooh.
this happens.
The Sleep of the Dead.
Yeah,
Just removing the creature
Eh.
without putting it in the graveyard.
yeah.
Takes
So
one
now,
damage, but
yeah, and they can like escape it too by exiling 3 cards
yeah.
to be able to do it for the other one. So now they get to attack in.
Alright. That's
So now you'd assume a block with
16
the
damage.
Seder Wayfinder. So they'll take
Yeah.
10. And then I believe they've still got an Order of the Bone in the graveyard. So
Yeah.
do you try and cast that, or are you too scared of Spell Pierce is the question.
I think you have to try.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
bait out
I
those
think,
counterspells.
you just saw the hand motion go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So
That's
26 life.
That's 2 turns of attacking.
Yeah. Chooses not to block. I guess they want to keep the creatures in play for the Dread Return.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you can play like 2 in the same turn. But he
Yeah.
doesn't really have that many creatures. I mean, he dredged a lot, but still only 13, 14. So not enough to actually close out the game.
Yeah. So you'd still but the other so now the counters get removed, so they will untap next turn. But the other benefit of well, they do have the Scrapwork Mutt in the graveyard, right? So that's another creature they can get. Plus
Yeah.
flashing back
Acorn
the Acorn
Harvest.
Harvest. So that's
Yeah.
3. So they can Dread Return twice this turn, especially if you Dread Return first, because there's probably not another Stinkweed Imp. So you Dread Return, so you sacrifice all your Stinkweed Imps, see
Yeah.
if that resolves. If it does, you've got a Giant into play.
And like 13 plus 3 minus 1.
Yeah.
That's
16
15 damage.
Yeah.
He's counting
13.
again.
Yeah. Then they're one short because they can attack with the Scrapwork Mutt to do the extra damage.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Extra 2.
Oh, but
and
that's,
then
yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
still that's one card less from the graveyard.
Yeah, but you
So
do that
still
after
need
you've
to-
done the Giant first, bringing the first one back, but you can, and
Oh,
then you
yeah.
can
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then when you've brought back the Scrapwork Mutt, you can Dredge Return. You can Dredge back another Stinkweed and put more things into your graveyard. It's a very fun deck.
Yeah.
You can do so many
He-
things.
He discussed the Acorn Harvest from hand that we saw a few turns ago.
Yep. Draw a card. So now,
That's
and they've
full
got the Seder
damage.
Wayfinder to be able to, so now they can swing. So now they can do 3.
Going to
They're still,
15,
but
and I think that's lethal.
then they sack
If he has
3.
the Wayfinder. Yeah.
How many creatures do they have in their graveyard? 12?
I think 12 now, yes, without the mat.
Without
So
the
that's
Mutt.
exactly 15.
Yeah, it's exactly 15.
He needs to counter.
Yeah. So now and they can flashback Acorn Harvest.
Okay.
So this is an extra. So now they've got 6 creatures. So now they can flashback this Dread Return twice.
Yeah. And for
So
the first
the
one,
one
he
count
needs
is-
to sack the real creatures, not the tokens.
Yes, for the first one. Those are some
Pokemon
fancy
Map.
looking squirrels.
Yeah, that's-
I like how it's water energy 2 against the blue opponent.
Faking a counter spell.
Yeah.
He's counting again.
Yeah. All
Is
right.
it exactly
Come on.
lethal?
Dread Return, sack the 3
Count
things.
again. We're in front of the camera. Be sure.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not game enough to do the second Dread Return, you can just leave up these 2 squirrels to block. You do have enough life too, so
And I think he has another self-milling creature in hand. So he might try to play that, or maybe he's trying to play around the spell pierce.
yeah, he's probably trying to play around Counterspell and Spell Pierce with him, I guess. Yeah, so you sacrifice
yeah.
all the actual creatures, flashback
Yeah.
Dread Return, get the Lotless Giant. Let's count how many creatures we've got. Put these in the graveyard. 2, 3, 4,
5,
5.
6, 7,
7,
8,
8.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14.
Yeah, I think it's 13 or 14. 13's, well, they should be on 13. I don't think they've taken the 2 damage from the Scrapwork Mutt on the life counter on screen.
I think they did because he was at 18. I don't know if
Oh,
we,
okay.
we might
Yep.
have missed something. Maybe we lost 1 damage. So Morgan is thinking a lot.
See if this resolves. And then we'll see the life total change once it resolves anyway. There we go.
Okay,
All right,
it
so it's not
does.
resolving, obviously. So are we flashing back the Dread Return? The second one? This is the question.
Oh yeah, it's not 15 because the Lotte Giant is not in the graveyard when it resolves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, that's
All right, so
maybe one
there's-
off.
So it's just past turn, which is fair. So now you get another Dredge with the Stinkweed Imp, which
Yeah.
will let you get another, hopefully, a couple more creatures in your graveyard.
Okay, he finds another counterspell.
Yep.
That's
So
very
brainstorms
nice.
into a brainstorm and counterspell, which is very good.
Yeah, I mean it's good that he found the counterspell, but now he has no way to shuffle the library, so the other brainstorm
Yeah.
is going to look at actually just 1 card.
1 card, yeah. So the 2 cards he put back on top were lands, correct? I saw one of them. I didn't see both.
Okay, Sleep of the Dead on the tokens.
On 1 squirrel, yep.
Yeah, and I guess on the no, not on the other one because he needs that counterspell mana.
Yep.
But Francesco is at 28. He can just ignore the attackers.
Yeah.
That's 16 damage, but not enough to win.
This has been very back and forth. thought
Yeah.
Terra had it in the bag, and then I thought Dredge would have won last turn, and now it looks
Now the
like Terra's going
maths,
to win.
yeah, the maths didn't
It's
add up a lot.
yeah.
He just needs to. I mean, now with the Dredge, he might find
So
like another
take
Dredge return.
16
Yeah,
down
who
to
cares?
12.
16.
There we go, down to 12. So Morgana is on 15. Okay. So we're going to dredge back a Stinkweed Imp, surely. So there's
Yes,
one.
only one.
I think there's another Dread Return on the bottom. I think there's 2 Dread Returns in the graveyard.
Okay, yeah, probably. He now needs the.
There's an Exhume. That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have won.
Did they hit another? Did they hit another Nord of the Bone? No, it was a Malevolent
No.
Rebel.
He can dredge the unearth the mat to dredge again.
Yeah.
And then play the Stinkweed Imp, sack them.
Attack for 1.
But yeah, every damage counts.
Yep.
As you saw last turn.
Yep.
So I think he can actually play both Dread Returns by flashbacking one Acorn Harvest. He should still have one discarded last turn.
Yeah. With the Stinkweed Imp, yeah. So you need Stinkweed Imp plus Acorn Harvest plus Unearthed Scrapwork Mutt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that gives you 6 creatures, and that costs you 7 mana.
Again, he's not playing around the
Spell
he wouldn't
Pierce.
play around the Spell Pierce, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You don't have a
here,
choice at this point.
And then 5 other, yeah.
Yeah, 1 Dread Return. The bottom card of Dread Return? It's just a very blank
Yeah.
card, so I think it is. I'm just not too sure.
Yeah, that looks like it's some kind of a... oh, he
Ooh.
naturally draws.
Interesting.
Maybe the deck size is not enough. It's just to the last 4 cards. I doubt it,
Interesting.
but that might be possible.
Yeah, I would have dredged back the Stinkweed Imp
Okay,
because
but the
if you don't, I suppose just if you don't hit a creature with the card you got in your hand, you don't have 3 creatures because you've only got. I don't think there was another Scrapwork one. Oh, there is another Scrapwork one in there. Okay.
Yeah, he dredged one.
Yep.
So yeah, he's counting the cards. Yeah, that's more than enough to kill.
It should be more than enough. It should be pretty close to
So-
14, actually. So we got a
He has to
counterspell.
play the counterspell.
Yep. So now we flashback the Acorn Harvest and bring back the Scrapwork Mutt. Yep, Scrapwork Mutt. Discard. And are we going to dredge this time?
He decides not to discard anything to the mat.
Yeah? Is this true?
Does he have the... yeah, the last.
Yep. Yeah, the last
And
card is
that's
dredged.
it.
There we go.
That's
All right,
enough.
scoops it up. All right.
Wow.
Whew.
So he takes the game. Wow, game 1.
Yep.
Very, very, very
Yep.
interesting game. Very
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah, and that's what I said at the start. Like, I feel like Dredge is favored just because you can overload on those couple of turns. And I said North of the Bone was useless, but North of the Bone was the
Actually,
card.
yeah.
It was the card
won the
that
game.
gave him the extra like 4 turns he needed to be able to.
Yeah, he gained at least like
Yeah.
26 life out of the... no, more. Because the 26
Well,
was the
26 on
second and then-
one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 on the first one, like more than 30
Yeah.
lives.
Cast 3 because he cast 1 from hand and then flashback
and
2.
flashback
So
both. Yeah.
it was a lot of life.
Yeah. Hard to fight through. I mean, he tried also by tapping out
Yeah,
the
Tapping out the blockers, the chump blockers.
the
Yeah.
blockers, yeah. Also
Which
the tokens.
didn't look like Francesco was going to block half the time anyway because he
Yeah,
needed all
no,
those
no.
creatures to dread return.
Exactly. But still, there's remove options from your opponent. You don't know what he has in hand, so just making sure that he doesn't have many options. Just take the damage. That's a way to attack.
Yeah.
So
I know.
sideboard. What do you do
I know.
against Dredge?
I know. In commentary, you're not supposed to have biases, but I really want Dredge to win.
Yeah. Very nice.
I
Very
would love
interesting.
to. I would love to see Dredge in the top 8. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Me too. And on the sideboard, he has no graveyard hate.
No,
Three
most
Steel
Terra
Sabotage
decks.
for Hydroblast.
Yeah, it's usually artifact hate and red hate, and that's usually all blue Terra has in their sideboards. So I
So
wouldn't
he
expect
has
much.
nothing. Just maybe the Murmuring Mystic, but that's a bit slow.
Yeah, no, I think the deck's solid. Well, it's I wouldn't say it's solid. This is a bad matchup. You could try and fix it, but Dredge is what a 6-player in a 700-player tournament deck.
Yeah.
It's not something you really prepare for.
Yeah, not really on the radar of the decks to beat. While
This Terra deck is also running one Murmuring Mystic main too, by the way, which I think is interesting. Most choose just to have them in the sideboard. This one's just running an extra one as another way to have a threat.
Pre-board. And the mono Force Spike, just to
make the one of Force Spike, just to make you gotta think if they've got it or not. Especially it's always funny when it gets revealed at some point, like throughout game 1. They just go, "Oh, have they sorted it out? They still have it."
Yeah. How many do they run?
Yeah.
Should I play around it? And there's a split between Force Spike and Spell Pierce, just to keep the opponent guessing.
So, what does Dredge have for this matchup? Not a hell of a lot. Gnawn of the Bone was pretty good. Maybe you side more of them in. I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe
they also have
Bogs?
Yeah, they have some Bajuka Bogs, which does help. Like, there was the turn 3 double Terror, might I add, is what he did win through, which is quite insane. That is one of the best starts you can have as a Terror pilot.
Yeah. That's the strength of the deck.
Yeah, so having like a way to slow them down that you can pick up off of either Malevolent Rumble or Seder Wayfinder or Branchwood Player is quite handy. But usually you just side out other lands, and do you really want to slow down your game plan by introducing another tap land? I'm not too sure.
Yeah. But, I mean, what deck are you playing Bajuka Bog against?
Yeah, true.
The sideboard,
well, the mirror.
I think yeah. I mean, also against the mirror, you want instant speed removal for the graveyard, because if you let the opponent get to his turn, he can dredge Estung in the black 3 times and have again a new graveyard to play for.
Yeah.
So
I was. Do we mulligan again? No, just the once. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Trying to find that one of land every time with all your land cyclers. It's always a task. All right, so it looks like we're doing a turn 1 Lauren revealed end of turn there for the Terra opponent, and Francesco is just played a tap land and passed. At least they've managed to find their red source early. They're not going to have to search for it with the Generous Ant.
Yeah. Does he have the black mana though? I mean,
I've seen a forest in their hand.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a black source just yet.
And that's the Generous Ant in hand, I think. So you may get the black mana, black tap mana.
I think the card in front's a troll. There we go. Yeah.
Okay, troll.
Yep. Snake and troll. Get a unsap. Get just a basic swamp. So have an untapped source, and then they'll probably, if they have the Generous Ant in hand as well, they'll probably cycle that for probably a tap land.
Or
because
everything just gets the top land now.
Okay.
And
which is fair.
Yeah, I think that's not much you can do with 1 mana. This version of Dredge doesn't even play the 1-drop, the what's it name?
Rubble Belt Maverick.
Yeah.
I'm a Dredge fan from way back. I can tell you all the cards. I keep forgetting Circle of the Land Druid, because it's well, everyone's playing Circle of the Land Druid instead of Rubble Belt Maverick. That's
yeah.
It just I like Circle of the Land Druid better just because it mills more cards, obviously, but it's every card that mills cards, you need to do as much as you can, because if your graveyard gets a gold once, you just need to start that chain again.
Oh,
So
we see again a terror
a
on
turn 3
turn
terror.
3. Only one this time, not two.
No, well, this one costs double blue.
Yeah. Which is the reason why many mono blue players just run around with 8 creatures, the 4 delvers and 4 terrors. But that's risky. You don't always find your payoffs.
Yeah. Oh, well, 12 creatures. They usually run the 4 Cryptic Serpent, 4 Terror, 4 Delver.
Yeah.
So we Scrapwork, Mudding. Oh, Bajuka Bogging. Turn too late on the Bajuka Bog, because they've already managed to get a Terror. But at least like there may not be 2 more Terrors in your future this turn.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's the Mirroring Mystic.
He taps
that
out.
Helps.
He knows that Francesco can't really do much now.
So that does help increase the clock, because as we saw before, the stonewalling of the silly 1/1s here we go. Generous End again? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I have a feeling this is going to get Demon Furied again, probably.
Yeah.
But hey, at least it'll stop it stops both just singular birds and the terror in its tracks. So this will help stall the game out. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
You do it once, game 1, bottom. It happens again in game 2.
Yeah. Goes on the bottom again. And
we get a bird.
A bird. One of many.
Yeah. So what token metagame have we got here? What is this?
I think that's still from Mezzocello and Friends. That seems like the layout they use.
Oh, it's like a dove of peace in a silhouette form. It looks very cool. I like that one.
Yeah, the lighting just doesn't help us understand a lot. But yeah, I mean, if you want tokens, personalized tokens, just go to Mezzocello and Friends. They're in the venue today.
It's blue and it's got a 1/1 on it. I know what it is. All right, with no lands with Seder Wayfinder.
Il pentrone delle illustrazioni, says Nico. From.
All right, so Wayfinder missed the land drop.
Oh.
And
but he finds the Note of the Bone.
Put a Note of the Bone, a Dread Return, and a Giant in the graveyard. So a lot of things there that you want.
He likes a lot of creatures, though.
Well, yeah, and the fact that it was 3 non-creatures, you really just want to be putting creatures in the graveyard, and the fact that there's 3 non-creatures wasn't great. Are we going to see a Note of the Bone here? At end of turn, just try to buy some time. So we got 1, 2, 3. Soon to be 4. There's 4 creatures in the graveyard. Oh, they're just going to crack the food. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're going to cycle something I can't see. Must be a Generous End. Because they just got a forest.
Yep.
So I believe there's 2 creatures off screen. So there's an Ent and a Seder Wayfinder. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures in the graveyard.
Yeah, very far from a...
Yeah. So they can Note of the Bone for 8 life, but that's literally the amount of damage they've got in play. So
yeah, that's
not really
the position you want to be in.
No.
I mean, you just want to put what?
6 mana, or just slam it, or just slam it a Generate.
Wow,
nice.
Counterspell, yeah.
Yep.
Just baiting up those counterspells, banking on the fact that he might get to.
Yep. I think it's the lack of Stinkweed Imp. If there was any Stinkweed Imp at any point in this game, I think it would have gone the other way. But the fact that you have to hard cast a Generous Ent is not a good sign.
Do. I mean, you can do that, and in some games that is very relevant, because when you get all the graveyard hate, sometimes you just cast a Troll, a Generous Ent, and win by swinging with big creatures. But this is not the position yet.
No. And how we mentioned before that Dredge only runs 16 lands. The fact that you have 6 in play means you have drawn a lot of lands.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
not a good sign.
And he didn't mill any lands.
No, yeah, couldn't, yeah, and didn't hit anything off the Seder Wayfinder either. So that's like a potential card draw card that
So
got nothing.
he basically has like half of his lands. I don't know, maybe with the two more from the sideboard, that's
Yeah,
12,
I'm unsure
14
if they
lands.
side out. Yeah, unsure if they side in lands for the Bajuka box or like side out creatures. You wouldn't
Yeah,
side out creatures. You
maybe.
want to try to get as many creatures. Maybe like
Yeah,
a Malevolent Rumble, you might side out because you want to keep that creature count as high as possible. All right, looks like there's an
yeah.
Exhume coming for another Generous End to try to stop that terror. I wouldn't
Yeah, I
think
think
it'd be
that's
as
the
a
play.
giant because it's
Yeah.
only going to be doing like 5 damage. So it's got to be Generous Ent because that gives you 3 life plus a good blocker, and it
Yeah,
resolves. Nice.
that's it.
So
He
we're
has a
in this
counterspell
for
in hand.
at least one more turn,
Yep.
unless there's a Demon Inferior in their hand, which I think they did have.
I don't think there is.
Yeah, it might not be. Seems strange that they didn't use the counterspell, but
I think he's keeping
they
it
might.
for the Note of the Bones.
Yeah, they're only
Oh,
going to
but he
gain
has
like
the...
8 life.
Yeah, and he also has the Spell Pierce in hand, so that's
Yeah, there's a
another way
spell pierce. Yeah, that you can use that to try
counter.
to bait out the Nord of the Bone. Well, use on the Nord of the Bone because
Yeah.
they're not going to have enough mana this turn.
Oh, this is tense.
I
5
wonder.
life.
Yeah, I wonder what Francesco can have here, or what like Morgan was scared of that they didn't use the counterspell on the Exhume.
He
All right, so just attack. All right, just
attacks
attack in
with...
the air with the birds. So now you can block 1 and then crank your food and nothing happens. You stay at 5.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And also using the counterspell would have given you an extra bird just to apply some more pressure, which I guess you don't really need if you've got a Cryptic Serpent in play and they have no creature in play.
Yeah. Still, that would have been 9... No, 10 with the...
Yeah.
No,
So
11.
they've just
11.
and Morgan's just decided to pass the turn. So it looks like we're seeing an Acorn Harvest here.
I think at this point you just try to counter it, add to the
Yeah.
board, and
You got
then...
to start making just birds to try and beat down. So
Yeah.
yeah, just even playing a counterspell to make a bird is pretty good. And like, what
See,
can they
he
have for
needs
3 mana? What can they have for
another
3
damage.
mana here?
The Note of the
Other
Bones
than
from the
yeah, but they've
graveyard.
got the spell
Yeah.
pierce for it, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
So he
really
should
matter.
play, even if he wants to play it, he should play it in the upkeep, because I think
Yeah.
this is a mistake. Because if he gets countered,
To-
there's another bird which is
Another
exactly
bird
lethal,
to yeah,
and that's
yep,
it. Yeah.
just scoops it up. Yep, rough.
So
All right,
we'll be going to
Game
game 3 with
three.
13 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, I think that really just hinged around well a couple of things. The mono blue terror pilot going first for one, which
Yep.
let them manage to hit that turn 3 terror and avoid the Bajuka bog.
Yep.
That really
Yeah.
set the clock up really quick for Francesco to instead of just dredging along like they did last game, they
Yeah, sure.
couldn't dirtle as much as they wanted to. And yeah, the lack of Stinkweed Imp. At any point in drawn a Stinkweed Imp, I think Francesco would have been in a much better position.
Yeah. Because not also you block. It's the perfect blocker for the terrors, but
Yeah.
also in the air. That's not
Yeah.
irrelevant. All those
Yeah.
birds actually went to managed to actually bring the life total low enough to be able to kill him that round.
Like
That
yeah,
was
like
exactly
even
lethal.
the Ent was there to stop the Terror, but you can't. An Ent can only stop one bird.
Yeah,
You can't swat all of them away. And you only lose one bird a turn, and you just like if you're pondering and preordaining to find answers, you're making more birds. So the one that dies, you still chip it in for 3 to 4 every turn.
Exactly. And Francesco didn't really, his draws didn't really line up very good. He had to hardcast the Generous Ant, not the position you want to be in.
Got to had to hardcast a Acorn Harvest, which is a card you never want to see in your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's gone for the game 3, a third mulligan to 6. Gotta love the 16 land decks.
Yeah. That's very punishing.
Hey, but game 1, they're on the play, mulligan to 6, and they got there. So
yeah, I mean,
let's just hope that they don't
easily recover from mulligans. He just doesn't play with the cards in his hand. He just needs to find dredgers and
you really need Stinkweed Imp because the deck doesn't have too many. Almost has no card advantage. You feel like you're running out of cards really quickly, but you need that Stinkweed Imp, Scrapwork Mutt Engine.
Ooh,
goes to
double
5.
mulligan. That's
rough.
That's harsh. Yeah.
This is the perils below land count deck. So we'll see. We'll see if he gets to keep a 5.
Because on paper you're running a low amount of real lands, but you have a lot of land cyclers, so it's actually 16 plus 8 from the land cyclers. So you would think that's 22 lands, but it plays out very differently actually. Sometimes you have a lot of land cyclers in hand without the first land, so you have to mulligan those hands.
Yeah.
I think this is keep.
Well, I see a land. That's got to be good enough, right?
yeah. When you're mulligan to 4, to 5. And he has also a forest. So swamp, forest, and a upland. Okay, he has enough lands.
Yep.
Ooh,
here we go. We've got the clock. Turn 1 Delver.
And Circle of the Land Druid.
Yep.
Revealing
2, 3.
Nothing much. And the Dread Return.
That's rough. You want to try to hit it. Yeah, you want to try to hit as many creatures as you can. Hitting 3 reanimation spells there is pretty rough.
And he looks at the top card of the library thanks to the Delver of Secrets, and I think he saw a card that he doesn't really like, so he's pondering whether to mill it, but he draws it. What was it? Land. All right, he decides that he needs the 3rd land at least.
Yeah, there's a couple of mental notes in their hand I can see. So that's what they would have used if they wanted to mill it. But they only had 1 extra land, so getting to hit your 3rd land drop's pretty good.
I think I see a Tolarian Terror as the last card in hand.
Yeah.
So this may give him enough fuel in the graveyard to cast a Terror.
So Francesco hit their land drop, but they don't have any black currently. And they also didn't cast anything. So it's not looking good for the Dredge enjoyers out there. Because these are the turns where you just have to keep compiling creatures that put things into your graveyard. You got to fill that graveyard up as quickly as you can.
And again, okay, he keeps the card on top, even though Delver doesn't flip.
Yep, we're having some good Delver flips here.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna see the Terror. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got at least 4. Can't tell if it's 5 in the graveyard or not.
He has another Delver in hand and another land. So he could add a bit to the board. The graveyard is not scary right now.
Yeah. Another Delver. Seems fair. Now, when you got double Delver, this is where you really want it to flip.
Yeah. And also, again,
there we go.
you
All
can
right,
respond
black
to
source.
one of the triggers by milling the bad card on top and try to find another one for the second Delver.
Yeah, all right. So we got a Malevolent Rumble and it resolved. That's good.
Okay, this is a much better...
and we hit 3 creatures. That's what we want to see.
I think he takes the land right now, or maybe the cycler just to get the land out. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to do there. It's if you got another thing you want to cast for 2 mana, I would probably take the Ent
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. I was thinking to get your other red source, but you can't because you've only got the one red green land in play. So yeah, the only other red source you've got is the black red land,
The
which the Ent
black. Yeah.
cannot get. Yeah, so taking the forest is the correct option there, unless you really wanted the green black jewel to be able to hard cast a dread return.
Oh, and they flip to a spell pierce, which in this position is very good
Yes.
against only 4 mana.
Yep.
And swings for 6.
So
The bits are
6.
coming.
Yep. Yep.
And
So
they're
this
coming
is
fast.
it's a 4-turn clock currently. We can
Much
we can maybe
faster
make that a
though.
3-turn clock if they
Yeah,
if they
they
decide
have
not to block.
chompers. They do have
Yeah,
chompers.
and
So,
if you Circle of the Land Druid is a known very good chumper because if you do chump with it, you will get a land back from your graveyard to your hand,
exactly.
which they currently do not have because they put the forest from that Malevolent Rumble into their hand, which isn't something I would have thought about until just now either.
So it was the correct play to get the end.
Get the end, yeah,
Exactly.
especially if you didn't do anything at the end of turn there, if you had 2 mana free. So that's what we're trying to
This is
exhume.
good.
Yeah, my guess would
the end.
Yeah, my guess would be an Ent because it blocks Delver and blocks Terror.
And
Oh, it lets it happen. Yep.
There it is, a foot token. That's
Yep.
Tremor Life.
Yep.
And this is the third exhume because 2 other have been dredged.
Yes.
They have been milled.
We got and we've seen 1 dread return, right? So there's still 1 exhume and 3 dread returns left in the library.
Yeah. So Francesco is trying to stabilize the board, but is very far from actually winning the game.
Milling a counterspell there is a bit rough. That's the card you really want to see, but
Yeah. And the Demon
actually,
Fear.
yeah, Demon Fury.
yeah.
Oh, Sleep of the Dead. I thought I saw that in their hand, so that's why they let it resolve. Or I don't know if they had a counterspell to counter it, but yeah, a Sleep of the Dead with that many cards in your graveyard is a pretty good way of stalling out the end. So it looks like it's going to crack the food token to gain 3 to negate at least 1 of the Delvers, and we're gonna see a chump on the Terror. Yeah, there's no land in the graveyard.
So he's going to jump with the spawn, I guess.
Yeah.
Or no, he just.
Oh, okay. We'll just block with that, sure.
Wants the mana for next turn.
Yeah. We're gonna see another hard cast end. All right, it gets to remove the stun counter.
Mana.
Yeah, it gets to remove the stun counter from the end, so it'll untap next turn.
Yeah.
But they've got the Sleep of the Dead in the graveyard, so even if you hard cast another Ent, they can just escape it from their graveyard, tap it down, and swing in for lethal. Well, not lethal.
Yeah. They're not going to untap anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, even if he has the chump blockers for the Terror, that's still a 2-turn clock with the 2 Delvers. So
I think
Morgan is in a very good position.
Yeah, so I think Francesco was cycling. I believe it's a Troll of Khazad-dûn. So it looks like we're getting a basic swamp.
Yep.
So at least now we've got double black in case we've ever drawn the Dread Return.
Yeah, for the outcast.
And considering Francesco's luck, he probably has drawn a Dread Return and an Acorn Harvest. Oh, there's a Stinkweed in hand.
Yeah, that's great.
That's the card you want to see. Yeah.
But again,
except with
Sleep of the Dead.
Yeah, Sleep of the Dead is the card you do not want to see.
Yeah, no,
when you're the Dread
not
player.
at all.
So, all right, yep. So we'll see the Stinkweed come out, and we're going to see another spell, or is that going to be it? Because this is lethal in play if it manages to get a Demon Fury or just some other way to get rid of 1 more blocker. Because if you manage to get rid of both blockers, that is 11 damage on play.
Yeah. So another Sleep of the Dead. Or a Demon Feeder with the Brainstorm in hand.
Yeah. So they usually only run 1 Sleep of the Dead. I can't remember if they had one in the sideboard. They did not. So, yeah, so and they're not going to get to 6.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and they're not going to be able to get to 6 mana to be able to escape it twice.
Yeah.
So it has to be a Demon Fury.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're definitely going to do it once on this Stinkweed Imp.
Yeah, at least 1, yeah.
Yep. And they'll probably attack with everything. And then they'll have to chump with the spawn.
In the graveyard.
Yep. So we chop at the spawn, take 6, go to
Sack it and
5.
try to go for no to the bone, or just no.
Yeah, I don't think they had an Order of the Bone in the graveyard.
Yeah, maybe
And
not.
did they reveal? They revealed Spell Pierce off the Delver flip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they know
I'm just
they
gonna
know they got
override
the
it.
Spell Pierce. So yeah, you wouldn't try unless you got like double Nord of the Bone. You wouldn't cast it there anyway.
Yeah, that's one more turn for each resolved no to the bone.
All right, so we've got 4
4
mana.
mana.
Yeah,
Acorn
Acorn Harvest.
Harvest.
Yeah, it's the card you never want to draw, and yet he's drawn it nearly every game.
I think it's going to resolve because it doesn't really stop the
Yeah,
Delvers.
it'll resolve.
Delvers.
He's only using it to be able to get fodder because he's gonna sacrifice the 2 squirrels plus the imp flashback onto something.
Yeah.
Because he's dead to he's dead to the 2 delvers in play.
Yeah.
So he needs to be able to block. Well, he needs to be able to block the Terror and a delver, which you can't do with the Sleep of the Dead in the graveyard.
So he casts Dead Return, I guess, on another Generous End, but then you can Morgan can
then you can
tap
gain
one of
3
those.
life. Yeah. So the Generous End will give you a food token, which will negate one of the delvers. So it will let you live.
Yeah.
Unless they've got a 6th land to be able to double Sleep of the Dead, if they have enough cards left in their graveyard.
And he has the Brainstorm to find it, but doesn't. And no, he does. There's one. Okay, he has the win, so the return can resolve.
Well, I'm unsure. They need 6 cards in their graveyard.
And I think he does. He also milled some other cards in last turn.
Yeah. Well, it needs 7 because you can't.
Yeah, of course.
You can't exile the Sleep of the Dead. We're gonna see a count here. Oh, that's a library full of cards there.
Yeah. I mean, you can bring that graveyard to the as a separate deck, and we probably win.
You could bring it to a limited tournament; it'll be legal. Pretty good draft deck, I would admit.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go, and now it looks like GG.
Yeah,
as soon as they saw that 6th land,
that was it.
Sad way for Dredge to go. I'd call that a favorable matchup for Dredge. It's just his hands were extremely awkward, and Morgan's were very good. Like just hit turn 3 Terror every time, and just had the pressure to like back it up. And Francesco had to mulligan to 6 every game, except for game 3 where they mulligan to 5. And then, you could see he just had nothing in game 3. He got close, but that Sleep of the Dead, that card's insane.
Yeah. Yes. Too bad for Francesco. I mean, he's having a really good tournament. He's in near the top of the leaderboard, and this loss has set him back a bit. But he can still make it to top 8.
Yeah.
He just needs to win every single round.
Yeah. So he was X1, so now he's X2, right?
Yeah.
So
2 more rounds to go.
9-2. Because it's 11 rounds. So would have won 9, lost 2. So need to win out from here to be able to top 8. So 2 more rounds to go. It's doable.
That's possible. Yeah.
Just go
we
outside.
Wish the best for him.
Go outside, get some fresh air, and just forget about what just happened because that was rough.
Head. Yeah. It happens. Still, I mean, it's bound to happen in a long tournament that you have to mulligan very aggressively. But when it happens, it's not very. It's bad. It's really bad for emotional stability.
Yeah, especially for decks with little to no card advantage. It's just it's very hard to come back from.
Accrue value.
Yeah, I'd say sure it was a combination of very good luck from Blue Terra and very bad
Yep.
luck from Dredge that
I mean,
led to this event.
The draw for Mono Blue wasn't really insane, but
Nah, it
unless in
wasn't.
game 2.
No.
Yeah, in game 2, that was insane to Terras
Yeah.
on turn 3. That's especially on the draw.
It's very not common.
Yeah. But those mulligans really hurt a lot for Dredge. But I think, okay, no, I won't say anything because I always jinx people when I say things like that. So let's hope for
Yeah,
the best.
the commentator's curse. It's just like, yes, I want. Yeah, it's like, yeah, this person's going to do very well, and then they just crash and burn. So we'll say nothing. We won't curse anyone, and we'll just see what happens in the next round.
Yeah, like for Mengucci, we really jinxed his play. I guess he didn't make it to day 2. So yes,
Wow, okay.
Yeah, world class player. I mean, very strong. And then I'm sorry.
Because he was it was X1 when he was on stream, and then he lost on stream, and then he must have just lost from there.
Yeah, I think after the third loss, he just decided to, okay, I'm not going to make it to day 2, so just enjoy the venue, enjoy the other players and other people.
Yep.
So again, do you have anything you want to talk about? I mean, they're asking from chat, how is Alessandro Moretti is doing? Adepto Terra. Moretti, he's at 21 points.
We can. If you, I will post the standing. We can just. So there's. Oh yeah, someone else posted. You can post the standings in chat. There's a link to look at the standings. So you just have to search for who you're looking for. If he's at 21 points, that means he's at 7 wins, which isn't great because it's round 11. So it would have, but it wouldn't have finished this round yet. So it'd be from 10 rounds. So it'd be at 7 wins, 3 losses if he's at 21.
Even if you want, that would be 24 points, which is 8 wins. So it'd be at 8-3.
Yeah.
Which I think doesn't make the cut.
Yeah, we think it's got to be X2s and above that make top 8. So
we
as
won't
soon
see
as
him
you
in
hit
top
3
8,
losses,
we can still get to top 16 or top 32.
Yeah.
So I mean, in this longer tournament, even that kind of positioning, you can be proud of that. Just winning 9 rounds out of 11, that's still very good. So if there's nothing else, we can go for a.
Well, that round took pretty long, so I think we got pretty close to time, right? So we can probably take a short break to.
Yeah, sure.
And
after the break, Stefano, I guess, will be with us.
Yeah.
And then he will tell us how the
side events that he
went.
played was.
Was it a O2 drop?
Yes.
No, yes, it was. Oh my god, nah. Too bad.
Was that yesterday or today's event?
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah. We can hear you.
Hi, everyone.
Was the side event yesterday's one, or did you do another one today?
I did both. Yesterday I lost at the end of the tournament. Was a 4 rounds tournament.
Yeah.
I lost against Turbo Cleric.
The core combo?
No, it was something I don't know. I remember that he gained 200 lives and
so it would have been the same. It would have been the same thing we saw on stream for the last round.
Probably
yesterday. Yeah.
I lost against him, and today I played a cube.
Oh, nice.
Cube
draft.
Oh, nice.
Cube draft with friends and ate a lot of sandwiches actually. And now
what kind of cube was it?
Vintage cube.
Oh,
nice.
What
vintage cube?
Play straight vintage.
Yeah. I did Dimir Reanimator.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes it's really funny playing rares and mythics.
Turn one. You can still. We just saw an Exhume get cast on stream. Did you cast any Exhumes?
Yeah. Sometimes you remember how powerful are the cards. So yes.
The one card that changes the game completely. That's not something you see in Pauper.
Yes. So How is it going today?
I mean, very interesting matchups. We didn't really have any chance to get bored. Very well thought out matches. I mean, the last one we saw Dredge again. We already saw it on day
Yesterday.
one. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
he made the cut to day two, and now he has a very nice 9-2, I think.
Yeah, it should
So
be
he's
should
still,
be 9-2.
Yeah, he's still on board for going to top 8,
Yeah.
but he needs to win the next 2 rounds. So we maybe be able to see Dredge again on top 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, very strong plays from Mono Blue Terror that are just, as we said, at some point just on turn 3 landed 2 Tolarian Terrors.
Tolarian Terrors.
Put in
in game 2.
enormous pressure. Yeah,
And-
just unbearable.
And now other 2 questions. Then I think that we can go on a small pause. I don't know. Just what time is it there, Curb?
What time is it here?
Yeah.
Almost 11 p.m.
Okay, so it's almost bedtime, right?
Yeah, I've said every time I'll at least do the first 4 rounds. We've only done 3,
Okay.
so I'm definitely
And-
here for the next one, and then we'll see. Like maybe it might be me, and I might stay
Yeah.
for the 5th round as well, like we did yesterday. We'll see what happens.
Waiting for Kali, and then Davide.
Yeah.
How was your first experience in English? 10 hours, like
Very taxing on my on my mind. So yesterday I went home with a headache, a terrible headache. But I don't know, today, I mean, this morning I was sure that my turn was going to come on the later rounds.
Okay.
So I was sure, yeah, take it easy, go there in the morning, but without pressure. Then I got the message, okay, Davide, where are you? So I took the fastest shower I could, just
Okay.
run
Yeah.
here, and
Yeah,
made it
I had
to
to-
round
I
one.
had to- I had to do
match
round 1,
2 of
game
round
1
one.
by myself. It was a great time.
I'm sorry.
so you did one man show, and that was
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah,
You-
well,
you had fun?
Chat helped me out. It was good.
Yeah.
I had a couple of things there we didn't know what to say, but Chat threw me some bones. so-
Chet, you've been good with our curb, or you write it all in Italian words, or you write it in English when you was alone.
It was about 50-50.
Okay. So you are learning something in Italian, right? In these 2 days, let's say.
That was the goal.
we didn't really.
I forgot my homework yesterday.
Yeah.
Turno.
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 Turno,
Yeah.
and you say
Okay.
everything you need in Magic.
So we
Yeah.
can go in a small back soon,
I
right?
don't think we can because
We
Nico's, Nico's smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
So we can just hang out. Kirby, if you want to take a small break,
So,
feel free to do
Yeah,
it.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind getting some
We can
water.
chat with the chat for a while.
Ok, possiamo anche switchare all'italiano nel frattempo se avete delle cose in italiano da chiedere. Sorry, Curb. Let's use this spot to also to answer the Italian question, because not anyone in Italy talks in English, especially us. No? So
It is an Italian event. I'm surprised I've been doing most of it, to be honest. So
yeah, we are really open to
We gotta-
find a
gotta give
language
some-
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta give something back to the Italians that are watching this.
So yes,
Yeah, at
let-
least this 5 to 10 minutes.
Let's spend 5 minutes in Italian if you want to have questions. So, possiamo parlare in italiano per questi 5 minuti, probabilmente saranno anche gli ultimi che ci concederà Lega
Esatto.
Pauper Italia.
Poi basta.
Quindi per tutti voi che avete
Sfogatevi.
sofferto, siete stati lì con Google Translate, con a dire che cazzo stanno dicendo questi, si può dire cazzo? Siamo
Sì,
in
penso
fascia
di sì,
protetta.
non lo so.
Andate un attimo, ok? Scrivete
illuminato.
tutto in italiano e rispondiamo questi 5 minuti, perché poi torniamo ad essere madrelingua, giusto?
certo,
Perché
certo,
comunque
assolutamente.
abbiamo dimostrato di essere perfetto.
Intendo nada, ma sinto che intendo tutto. Yeah,
perché
pure
in-
per noi è uguale. Sì.
Perché in spagnolo capiamo, poi non riusciamo...
Sì, parlarlo è impossibile, ma capirlo è facile.
È facile,
Sì.
esatto. Quindi spendete questi minuti con noi a fare domande, eccetera. E così Curb si riposa un po'.
Ci vediamo poi per il round 12.
Vai. Per parlare lo spagnolo basta usare il Veneto. Effettivamente.
Bella domanda. Succa.
I feel like to be honest, I feel like this is the time where I'm supposed to be learning something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a difficult question to translate.
I see someone
Curb,
tag me and said,
Curb, do you like more?
Carbonara or Gracia?
We'll try to explain.
I need to do it. I can explain why this question, but I have to translate it, okay? Curb, do you like more Totti or Pacciani?
Just it was on chat. Don't look at us like
It was on chat. I think Totti. You like Totti, right? You always need to say it that you like Totti.
Unless you're unless you
Right.
are for Lazio, but then again,
No
don't
one is
say
from
it.
Lazio here.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
say
no.
it again. Okay, we are in Rome.
You do as a Roman.
Okay.
So everyone in chat is saying Passiani for life.
Yeah. That's the hard thing to translate to explain. He's a poet. He's known as a poet.
Yes.
He did also other things, but poetry is one
Pomodoro
of the things he did.
mi chiede chi ha vinto la gara dello sbusto tra me e Delmo. Come sempre Delmo, perché è un fortunello, non posso esagerare, non sono sul mio canale, un fortunello. Quindi andiamo avanti. Si gioca la top 8, si gioca la win and in. Adesso l'ultimo turno,
Sì,
giusto?
questo è il penultimo turno.
Appena finito?
No, questo è il turno 11, quello appena finito.
Sì.
Quindi ce ne sono altri 2.
13 turni.
Sono
Quanti ne
13,
sono? 1000.
1000 turni, 1 milione.
200.
Non finiremo mai, facciamo day 7.
Va bene. Fortunello. Sì, quindi si streamerà la top 8, ma non è ancora il momento. Ci sono tanti giocatori che se la stanno sudando tanto. Again, sorry Kirby if we switch in Italian, but at least
this is fine. I'll just stare into the distance while I'm listening to things I don't
se nel
understand.
mondo ci fosse un po' di bene, siamo a posto. Pacciani for life. Grazie per questo momento. Com'è che era sopra che aveva detto? Grazie a te, sei bellissimo anche tu. Bella Stefano. Oggi vi guardo da casa, è stato un piacere vederti in location. Where can I check standings?
Yes,
People keep spamming the.
sì, ogni
there's a
volta
link.
che c'è questa domanda
Yes.
qualcuno risponde con il
Perfetto.
link. Quello è il link giusto.
Quanto sta Morino? L'ultima volta che l'ho visto era a una Lost X1.
Quante win per essere in top? Sicuramente 11 su 13, quindi massimo due
Sì.
partite perse.
Sì. Se nel mondo ci fosse un po' di bene, se ognuno si considerasse suo fratello. And how many rounds? We
13,
just
13,
said
yeah.
13?
13. Yeah. So
Un
two
ciclo
more.
storm ancora vivo per la top 8 c'è? Tosta questa,
Bella
da
domanda,
sapere.
non credo. Oddio, non lo so. in
Non me
realtà.
lo auguro, posso dirti la verità?
No.
No. Salutiamo i giocatori di Ciclo Storm che ci guardano sempre perché appunto hanno già perso. 2 rounds left until top 8. Exactly. So we will have round 12 and 13 now.
Yes.
That are really important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pairings are online. So we are going to have the streaming table soon.
Yeah.
And then we will stream all the top 8, top 4 and finals. So
Yeah.
be really aggressive on chat with us.
2 more rounds for the Swiss and then 3 rounds for the top 8. That makes 5 rounds. That's enough to cover all the afternoon. We will crown the best Magic player for this edition of Paupergeddon in 9 p.m., 10 p.m. maybe, depending on how much time they take in the venue.
I have to come back to Milan, so let's hope that we don't have any more
Delays,
fogs and things like that. Mengucci è ancora vivo? No.
Yeah, purtroppo no, non è riuscito a fare game dei 2.
Lo vedevo giochicchiare casual, ma poi penso sia ripartito anche.
Allora, quanti player erano ieri? 700, forse 706?
Sì.
Ok, mentre a Day 2
706
150
iscritti.
Cioè, 706 iscritti, sì.
Sì.
Quindi 150 al Day 2 e 8 ovviamente alla top 8.
E qua mi ricollego a Why So Many Rounds, o come saltiamo?
Sì, qua poliglotti
italiano.
incredibili, fortissimi.
Why So Many Rounds? Because we are 700 and more, so that's why.
And
So,
there
yeah.
were a lot of players who couldn't make it because the venue is not large enough. That's the main
Yeah.
issue for this Paupergeddon. We need to find a location that's huge in
Have
order
you been in
to.
location today?
I'm sorry.
Have you been in location
No,
today?
I still haven't been in
Okay.
location, nor today nor yesterday.
It was like I don't know. You know Expo, the Expo
Yeah.
where full of people eating
Oh my god.
everywhere, eating.
Just a huge
Eating.
restaurant.
When we arrived in location, there was the guard there in on the entrance that said, "Please, if you need to eat something that is not sold here, eat outside. We don't have any more tables." Why in Italy, every time any kind of event, it transforms in something where we eat.
Yeah. I mean,
Why? Why?
that's what you do.
Why Italian
We have the
people?
best food in the world, so we eat it, of course,
No,
every time we
no,
can.
no, we don't have the best food. We are complete, famous, but not the best. There is not the best. Everyone is okay.
Yeah, that's
we are on
of
Twitch. We have
course.
to say this bullshit.